Stocks are holding near all-time highs, but so are safe havens. Which one will crack first? This is Sectors Up Close, and we're talking about safe havens. Stocks have been on a tear recently, with the S&P 500 clocking its fifth record high in 9 trading days last week. That usually means traders have a healthy appetite for risk. But as President Trump's trade war intensifies, investors are also seeking out safer assets like gold and Bitcoin, pushing prices to an all-time highs. So are markets being complacent? Joy Yang, head of product management and marketing at Market Vector Indexes, thinks that traders are hedging their bets. So, Joy, can this pattern of all-time highs continue? When will the shoe drop for stocks?
Thanks, Peter. I think we just got through 90 days where we expected 90 deals, but only got 3. So at the moment, everybody's still waiting on the sidelines for the rest of the 87 deals. And that's why we're seeing gold and Bitcoin rise to all-time highs. And so that makes sense, but it's not a panic trade. This is more of this is more of a protection trade on the different outcomes that are still yet to materialize. And does that mean that the other shoe will drop? Well, I think there are still some very interesting themes in the market that go beyond tariffs. So if you look at AI, and this is why we're seeing NVIDIA hit 4 trillion, so there are definitely still trades in the market that investors are looking at beyond, what's going to happen with the tariffs. And I think at some point people have to take action.
We saw silver today climbing to an almost 14-year high as investors are seeking alternatives. So is gold just too expensive for a safe haven now?
I think anytime you see such a fast rally and a momentum behind an asset class, you're going to see some kind of pullback and some kind of reassessment, some kind of profit taking. So we're seeing this in gold, and we're seeing prices in silver, platinum, and even copper rallying because people are looking at relative value. But it doesn't mean that the gold price has stopped, because there's still some strong support for gold, whether it's a hedge against geopolitical tensions, whether it's a hedge against some of the tariff implications, or whether it's a diversifier because equities and bonds are breaking down, or because people want to move away from this US exceptionalism. So there's still a very strong case for gold.
Let's switch to crypto news now. Bitcoin surpassed $120,000 for the first time. Could we see a long-term interest as a reserve asset and even from central banks?
This week is going to be really interesting. It's crypto week, and we're seeing a lot of regulation clarity around crypto assets in general. So we have the stablecoin acts. We have just a regulatory framework around whether crypto assets are CFTC regulated or SEC regulated. So there's going to be a lot more clarity, which means that will attract more institutional interest, which means that there will be a more diversified base across crypto assets. But we also have to remember that it's not just about Bitcoin. It's about all the thousands of other crypto assets that are in this universe. And I think people are just beginning to build up their educational awareness around this asset class, which means that people will start coming in as they understand how to value and how to invest in these different assets.
So could traders opt for smaller tokens, looking for opportunities for bigger profits?
I think investors have to be aware that Bitcoin is just one token. And just like stocks, there are different stocks in different industries. They have different use cases. There are different valuation models to understand the risk profiles of each of these tokens. So again, it's understanding how to value the different asset within crypto industry, looking for relative value. So I think investors will bring in some of the traditional lens that they've been using in other asset classes and think about, how do I then hedge some of these risks?
Joy, you mentioned that it is crypto week and bets are for more permissive regulation coming. So what's stopping Bitcoin from reaching that $125,000 level?
Well, there's the potential for it to break 125, and it's very close at the moment. But we also know with other asset classes, and certainly other early stage asset classes, that success will attract competition. So I expect that it's not just going to be Bitcoin. There will be other types of crypto assets, whether other types of store of value come into play or other use cases like we've seen with Ethereum and Solana. And as we get regulation clarity, we're going to see a lot more interest in people finding the kind of cheaper value alternative in this asset class. And again, I can't stress enough that investors should also think about ways to hedge some of the single concentration risk that may be in investing in just one specific token. So diversification, think about how to value things properly and to really maximize your opportunity.
Joy Yang of Market Vector Indexes. Don't forget, you can watch more videos on Reuters.com.